Welcome to Tarot with Shannon. In today's reading, we're going to bring back the most popular reading on my channel, which is What Makes You Shine. I thought it'd be a good time to bring this one back to do a new reading so you can get some new people in to see what it is that makes you shine, like the bright shiny star or sun. Let's shine like the sun. So before you have three different groups to choose from, representing three different collectives. The Sun with Mystical Moments Tarot, this is group 1. Group 2, we have Pulp Tarot. And group 3, we have the Moonchild Tarot. So if you head down into the description, you'll see the timestamps where you can jump ahead to your reading. So you can pause this video now and take a moment to meditate on the piles, the groups, and see which one draws to you. All right, I will see you at your reading. Hello, group 1, and welcome to your reading. So you've chosen the Mystical Moments Tarot. So I'm going to draw out a few cards that will show you how you shine like the sun, how you light up people's worlds. And this is the most popular reading on my channel. And let me give you a little backstory while I shuffle out your cards. A few years ago, I do channeling sometimes. Now, if you want to have a separate video on channeling and how it's done and the pitfalls around that, leave a comment down in the description and I will do that. But basically, I've always heard, voices, not that kind of voices, but just channeling. And I kind of shut them out. So, because it got too overwhelming. And then a few years ago, I decided, well, I'm just going to kind of open up my mind a little bit here. I was doing tarot. I'm like, what reading should I do? What would be good for my channel? And this childlike, innocent voice, very high pitched, just popped into my head and said, what makes you shine? And I thought, okay. So I did that. And it turns out it is the most popular video on my channel. Now, if you look through my readings, you'll see I don't get a huge amount of views. I have a smaller channel here on YouTube. But so most of my views are under 100, but if you see that one first video of what makes you shine, you'll see that it has thousands of views. So that voice was real. So like I'm telling you, if you want to learn more about channeling and what it means, do leave a comment and I will talk about it. So now, on to your reading. Let's talk about you and what makes you shine, group 1. So let's see what we have here. 6 of Pentacles. Ooh, you're very generous. Yeah. I see you're very generous. And, if you see in this card, we have 2 women that are having tea. And then there's like a person. I'll hold it up here. You can see this person standing like on the teacup. You have guides. So I feel like you probably are a group that is in regular contact with your guide and you converse with them a lot. So you're very connected to, if you want to call it guides or source energy or higher self, whatever, resonates with you, God, if you will. You're very much in communication with on a regular basis with your guides. But you are also somebody who people like to sit down and pick your brain. They want to know more about you and you're happy to give it to them. You're very good with giving advice. Maybe you're therapists or coaches of some kind, educators. I can see teachers, educators, coaches. I can also see healers, Reiki healers, those kinds of, positions. I can also see nurses, healing. I see healing. I see talking healing. And I feel that your energy is very, very, very healing. And you just give really good advice. You might be the person that people go to first when they need advice. And you like to give it. I think you're somebody who just enjoys doing it. You enjoy being helpful to others. It's something that makes you feel good. And because it makes you feel good, that's what shines to others. And I get a sense here too with the guide there, you're protected. So although you probably have run into people who have, mistreated or misused your gift to gab. You have the gift of gab. I can see that here, but your gift of gab isn't gossip. I can see here that you are very careful about gossip. So anything that is around gossip is more about venting. It's more about talking about something to work through it rather than just to pull someone down. You're not like that. You prefer to work things out in a healing, healthy way. And so you are pretty good about attracting people who are very sincere in their need to want to sit and talk with you. And some people just like to be your friend. Like you have close friends and you see them regularly for tea. And this is something that it just brings you happiness and joy. And because it brings you happiness and joy, you radiate it and it shines. So let's take more of a look here. Yeah, the Hierophant. Again, yeah, you're wise. You're very wise and you have a lot of, you're a teacher. I very much get teachers, mentors. Let me know down in the comments if that is who you are. I feel, or you should be if you're not, because this group is, this collective has a lot of wisdom to share. And people like to hear it. They want to know your thoughts on things. They know that you think deeply about things, that you're thoughtful, so they're not questioning what you say as much because they trust you. There's a very high level of respect and trust around your knowledge and your wisdom. So you're probably somebody who reads a lot, and you don't just read fluffy fiction, although you do, you may, but I really get the sense here that you're well read. Like you read nonfiction a lot, probably. You like to learn things. You like to learn things and you like to share what you've learned. And you have experience too. So, your experience plays into that as well. You learn by experience. You're a well-rounded person who understands things on a deep level, and people really appreciate that about you, and they can see that about you. And I very much get the sense that if you are a coach or a teacher or some kind of a mentor, that you're really successful at it, or if you're not, you will be successful at it. Or if you don't do it and you want to do it, just know that something that you would be really good at, because this is where you shine big time. And I also just got to that you share, you share the knowledge and wisdom that you get from your spirit guides and your higher source. Like I said, you're quite connected to that. So this is like a divine wisdom that comes through you. And that is really why you shine. And here we have the Justice card. So you very fair and balanced person. It's showing up here in this as a major kind of cards. It's showing that this is your real big personality traits. These are who you are as a person, is somebody who's very wise and educated, and somebody who is fair and just. So you seek fairness and justice in all interactions with other people. And because you're so balanced in your approach, and because you come from a place that's well researched, you don't just have an opinion about something randomly. It's because it's actually well researched, and because you understand it and you share it because you know about it. So you're somebody who is quite intelligent and very balanced in everything that you do. You're very diplomatic. So I can see that people are drawn to that about you and why they seek your counsel. I also got law enforcement of some kind. If you're police or any kind of law enforcement, I can sense that you stand out because of the fact that you are so fair and balanced. You see people as people. You see people as just not right or wrong, but as just unlearned or learned. Like they need to be educated on something, or they're lacking knowledge. So you're not judgmental. I really get that. And you're intuitive, but your intuition definitely is intellectual. So it's more of an intellectualized, intuitive way of passing on your wisdom. So it comes from experience, it comes from knowledge, it comes from your hard work. Okay. Next, let's get these a little closer together so we can fit the cards. We have Page of Pentacles. I know that's cute. I love this Page of Pentacles. I get the sense too that you're quite grounded, and before you take on any new project or any new thing, you really like to learn about it and you take your time. So you're not somebody who is a fly by the seat of your pants kind of a person. You're a person who really educates yourself. You take the time to figure something out. Like if you're somebody who's going on a trip, you're the person with the itinerary. You've researched the country that you're going to. You know the cities that you're going to. You know the places that you want to visit because you've learned about them, you've read about them, and now you want to see them in person. And when you're there, you're the person that will be the one to say, this is what this monument is from, and you'll educate the other people that you're with on it. So you're very well educated, well-rounded, knowledgeable person. And you take your time and you are thoughtful, and you, before you start new projects, you thoroughly investigate it first, and you nourish your interests too. So they're long-term projects. Like even if you start something new and you are somebody who's you're not afraid to start new projects, but you take your time with them. Like I said, you take your time to really understand it before you move forward. You're more pragmatic and you're more cautionary in new things that you do, because of the fact that you don't like to go into something without understanding it first. And I see that you're somebody who also finishes things. So when you start something, it's something that you know that you're going to finish. You don't have a whole bunch of projects that are just hanging in the air. But you're also somebody too that you measure things before you take something on. So if you want to start a new, hobby, let's just say you want to start a new hobby, you have an interest in it. You look at it first. Is this, feasible for me? Will it be too costly? Will I actually do this? Will I stick to it long term? Like you give it a lot of thought before you just jump in. So that's what I see that you are very much like. Okay, so we're going to get one more card from the tarot deck before we move on to oracle cards. The Star. Yeah, so what I said in the beginning, you're a very healing person. People go to get healing. You have a healing nature to you because of the fact that you are so wise, knowledgeable. You're not judgmental, that you weigh things heavily before you make a decision on things. So they trust you. You have a sense, there's a heavy stability around you. Like you're a very stable and trustworthy person. You shine because you heal just by who you are and how you live your life. You're quite the inspiration to others, and they like to get to know you, and you like to get to know other people, and that's very much refreshing for a lot of people that come across you. That's why you shine, and if you literally shine, you're the star. I feel the star. You literally shine. You might have social media accounts where you educate people and you talk about things, and if you do, you probably do well, is my guess. You have a very loyal fan base. It doesn't have to be a huge one, but the fans that you do have, or the subscribers, the followers that you do have, they're very loyal to you, and they stand by you. They'll follow you wherever you go. That's what I get the sense here, because of your wisdom and your knowledge and your experience, and how healing you are with your words, how non-judgmental you are, how sensible you are, that's really what makes you shine. I mean, like literally shine like a star. You shine like a star. So if you want that, I get the sense you probably get a lot of attention, even if you don't want it. You get attention just by being who you are. People want to know you. They just feel drawn to you. They want to know you. They want to know what you know. And so you literally shine like a star. So if you are thinking about starting a social media platform, that is something to consider, that you probably will do quite well. So think about that. If that's something that maybe you don't want, some people don't want that. They don't want a huge following. They don't want to be harassed. They don't want the responsibility that comes with that. And because you're such a responsible person, that is something that you will need to consider if you are going to go that route. But know that if you do, you probably will do very well, and you will have very committed subscribers and followers. Okay, so let's go on to let's do some oracle cards here. Get a little bit more information about you and how you shine. I'm in a bit of a crowded space, so today, because I don't have my regular stand, so I have to use this other camera stand. Makes it a little bit of a smaller space to work with, but we'll do it. We'll get it done. All right, let's see. Okay. Right. Yeah. So if you're thinking about writing anything, like a book or a blog or a journal or anything like that, you should. Because your writing is prolific and people will very much resonate with it. So any of you who were listening, drop a comment if this resonates. If you have been writing a book, thinking about writing a book, or writing a blog, or any kind of sharing your written word in any way, shape, or form, just know that it will do well. And leave a comment if that's down below, because I'd like to know. I'm curious if this is something that is a path that you want to seek. Because if it is, know that you'll do very well. That's where you shine. You shine in the written word. You communicate very well. Your communication skills are very good. And so people will be quite drawn to you for that. Even, doesn't matter if it's nonfiction, fiction, whatever it is that you're writing, even if it's just technical, you do really well with it. Okay, let's take another oracle deck and see what we have for you. Okay, we have fulfillment. You know, you're somebody who seems, you're just well-rounded, approachable, sensible, wise, educated, and you probably have a life that is enviable from the outside looking in. Like, you probably have very solid, stable relationships in your life as well, because you are really able to see people for who they really are. So because you have that gift, you are able to weed out people that are, you know, troublesome or who cause you problems. You weed them out. They don't stay in your life. So you come across as somebody who is living a very fulfilled life. Like, you have a good career, good job, good money, you know, stable relationships. And I'm talking about how you shine. Okay. So this is where people might perceive. It doesn't matter what you think is, you know, maybe you don't see that about yourself, but I'm saying as that's how you shine. And moreover, as time goes on, if you don't have these things yet, you will. You will live a very fulfilled life because of the fact that, you know, just being who you are, you shine in ways that is somebody who with stability. So when you are a stable person, you tend to have a happier, better, more fulfilled life. And, you know, I could see that is very much how you shine to others, for sure. Just how you shine in general. Okay. And you also take care of yourself. So you're somebody who eats well, and you're very conscious about what you put in your body and how you treat your body. So people will like that. And face your fears. I got this from that card here with the dragonfly. This card represents, in this deck particularly, the dragonfly is almost like an omen, a warning of challenges down the road, but you're not afraid of anything. You're fearless. But mostly you're fearless too, because you have this wisdom and you're smart, and you've educated yourself, and you have taken the time to figure things out. And courage. You're very, you know, I think that might too, like the star thing too, you aren't afraid to shine. And that's the other thing. You're not afraid to shine. I get a very clean, wide, stable, supportive energy from you. And this is how you shine. People see you as being somebody who is quite fearless. And I think it's just who you are in general. You're fearless. You're fearless because you just know that not to be afraid. You know, because you've educated yourself so well and you have so much experience, and because you're so you have communion with, you know, your higher self and with your spirit guides or whatever, that you feel safe. So you don't have the anxieties other people have as much. So you tend to be a more fearless person and take risks because they're educated and thought out risks. You always land on your feet. You definitely somebody who lands on their feet. And this is how you shine. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Do subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you back. And, you know, engage with this video in some way that helps to support my channel and let YouTube know that, you know, people are actually enjoying the video and let me show me more. I'd love to, I love what I do and I'd like to keep doing it. And thank you so much for your support. I hope this reading resonated with you. Do leave a comment if it did, or even if you didn't, I'd love to know. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye now. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your reading. So in this reading, we're going to look at what makes you shine. Now, while I deal your cards and shuffle your deck, I'm going to give you a little backstory on this. So this is a reading I did a while ago. It's one of the most popular, it is the most popular video on my channel. If you notice, my channel's small and I get usually less than 100 views on my videos. But one day I used to channel, okay? I channel a lot. Sometimes I allow the channels in and sometimes I don't. Now, if you would like a separate video on channeling and how that works and the pitfalls of that, do drop a comment below and I will work on that video. If there's interest, I'll do it. But anyway, so a few years ago, I was shuffling my tarot deck. It's like 2 years ago, I think. And I was thinking to myself, what video should I do for my tarot channel? What would they like? And this voice just came right through. It was a very high-pitched, childlike voice that said, "What makes you shine?" And I was taken aback. I was like, whoa, okay. I'll do it. And if you notice, if you see, the What Makes You Shine video is the #1 video on my channel. It gets thousands of views when all the other videos don't get nearly that much. So that voice was pure, it was real. And so I'm going to do the second one now for an update on this video for those of you who didn't get to see or didn't resonate with the first one. So let's see what comes through for you. Okay, group 2. What makes you shine? Let's see. The Lovers. Now, this video is going to be more playful. I mean, this collective, you're more playful. Just by the sun picture that you picked, because you picked the child on the, you know, the old-fashioned horses that used to ride. You're a nostalgic person. So you love nostalgia. You love old things. You're probably dressed in a more vintage clothes. I can see you being somebody who very stylish. And stylish is a very loose term, so it doesn't mean that you necessarily a fashionista or anything like that. It's just more that you pay attention to your clothes, you know, and how you adorn yourself. You pay attention to that. And I think for you, there's going to be a lot of real retro types watching that really enjoy a good aesthetic from throwback. I see some of you even going back to the 50s, 60s, 70s. Like, you really enjoy older styles, 80s too. Definitely the 80s. I feel the 80s strongly in this group that you have a real nostalgia for. And you're romantic. This is my pile of romantics. And that one makes you shine because you have this romantic nostalgia for the past, and you're I can see you being attracting a lot of different kinds of people. And they really enjoy your company. And you're a heartbreaker. I get that too here. And you enjoy relationships that are more intense. You like more intense relationships. But I don't sense that you're an intense person, though. You just enjoy the drama. I think you enjoy drama a little bit. Not hugely. Like, I don't... well, let's see. Okay. See if you start drama. The Empress, no. You're just... yeah. I really get this sense from this group. You like to be fussed over. You like that. You like when people... You know your worth. Put it that way. You know your worth. And you enjoy attention. You enjoy being fussed over. You're a sexual person. Now, you don't have to be somebody who has a very... You don't have to be overtly sexual, what I mean. Sensual, I get that. A sensual, sexual person. It draws you in. And people are drawn to you for that reason, too. So you might be voluptuous. You're curved. You might be curvy, voluptuous, have really big, sultry eyes, maybe. Bouncy, beautiful hair. Thick hair. Or just something... There's some feature about you that really stands out. I get. You have an alluring quality to you. And people want to pamper you. You shine because you take care of yourself. You very much take care of yourself. You enjoy a good aesthetic. You enjoy adorning your body with a specific kind of look. You know, you might change your look often, or you might keep it the same. You might be somebody who has a certain kind of aesthetic. You know what comes to mind? Dita Von Teese. She's, you know, a sexual person. She has a very dominatrixy kind of a style to her. She wears a lot of corsets. She's a vixen, right? So that's just one example. I'm not saying that you're necessarily like her, but she's very glamorous. And she has that aesthetic that she kind of sticks to. You know, you see certain celebrities, they always have the same aesthetic. I kind of get the sense that you're like that too. You have a similar kind of vibe aesthetic. It's more retro too. You're kind of a throwback girl or boy, or non-binary. We're not, no gender specific here, but just basically you enjoy a good aesthetic. And you like to show off that aesthetic. And you like being adored. You enjoy it. You enjoy being adored. It's something you draw people in really, you very much draw people in with your, it's like, these are two major organic cards too. So, you know, you're not just, you know, somebody who draws people in. It's just part of who you are. This isn't even something you try to do. You're just who you are is just like this. You're naturally like this. You're naturally very sexual. You're naturally sexy. Let's say it like that. You're naturally very sexy. Even if you don't see yourself that way, you are. But I have a feeling you do. I think you know you're sexy. You know you're sexy. You play on that. You enjoy it. It's what makes you shine. It's part of you. And it's something that you definitely should embrace. If you don't, you have a great aesthetic. You have something about you that is alluring, very alluring, and you take care of yourself. So it doesn't matter what body shape you are. It doesn't matter what you look like. You are somebody who takes, you know, you have a good skincare routine. You have a good workout regimen, whatever it is that you do, you're disciplined about that because you want to make sure your body and your aesthetic is on point. It's important to you. All right, next. Knight of Cups, you are a romantic. See, I knew you were a romantic, and you have a lot of suitors. That's what I get. You have a lot of suitors, and you enjoy it. You enjoy the attention. But you also enjoy the romance. You're very much about the romance of it all. You're romantic about things. You're romantic about nostalgia. You're romantic about your wardrobe. You're romantic about your friends, about your relationships. You love a good romance rom-com. You probably read those romanticy books or just romance books. You're a romantic person and you enjoy it. It's just who you are is how you shine. And you look for it too. You seek out other people who want that, but also are also romantics. You are, like I said, you're a heartbreaker through and through. I can tell. I don't think you're trying to be either. I don't think you're mean at all. You just know who you are, and you are who you are. And, you know, if somebody doesn't, vibe with you, it hurts them because they want to be with you. I get you get worshipped like a goddess or a god. I get that feeling here. People would bow down to you kind of thing. Good for you. I applaud you. All right, next. Two of Pentacles. I really get the sense that you are a by day and by night kind of a person. So by day, you have one way of being. By night, you're somebody else. And you're kind of like juggling two different personas here. So I get the sense that maybe you're like a super professional. I'm going to put out the last card here. Two of Cups. Ah, yes. See, romantic. I knew it. And Five of Pentacles on the back. You don't like being out in the cold. You don't like it. You don't like, hold on, let me fix the cards. Now, I hope that's good enough for you. I can tell you like a good aesthetic, and I hope this looks good. Okay. So yeah, the twos here, you don't like to be alone. So with Five of Pentacles on the back, you're somebody who's always got a really close friend. You have close friends, close relationships, and you like long-term relationships. So I don't see you as being somebody who likes to jump from person to person necessarily. You prefer to have a relationship with someone. You like a commitment. You don't like to be alone, put it that way. So however that resonates with you, however you feel, you're somebody who has a long-term partner of some kind, and they like being with you because of who you are. You shine to them. You're a goddess or to them. Again, no genders. Take it as it resonates, but they worship you. Whoever you're with worships you, and you like to be worshipped. You enjoy it. But like I said here with the twos, like it's a dual personality thing. So like in the daytime, you might be very professional and have a specific kind of job, or you'd be professional, but at night, out comes the vixen kind of a thing, You probably do role playing. You probably love to do role playing. You might do cosplay. So you probably you definitely want a partner or people who are into cosplay as well, because you like to do it with people. You're not a loner, definitely. You're somebody who enjoys the company of others, and you enjoy being worshipped and praised. You love praise. You love praise. You enjoy it. And I don't see this as, it's not a negative. This is what makes you shine. So people want to give you praise because of just who you are. And you're special that way. And you're loved. You're definitely loved, and you're definitely adored. Okay, so I'm going to look at some oracle cards to see. And I apologize in last week. I don't have my regular stand, so I have a very limited space here. That's why the cards are kind of squished. And I really feel like I have to apologize to this group for any aesthetic or technical difficulties, because I feel that it's important to you. Okay, let's take a look. Fairy magic, of course. Of course, you're a fairy. Look at you. You're a little mischievous little fairy. Oh, they love it though. They love that about you. You love your romantics. You're into fantasy things. Totally. Some of you. Yeah, you love fantasy. You love playing fantasy. You love fairies. You love things that are magical. And you are magical. And you're a little fairy. You flip from here to here. Flowers. God, you love flowers. I can see that you have red flowers, especially. I see you liking the color red and pink and black. Probably some of you black. A lot. Purple. Kind of in that spectrum of things. But it doesn't have to be that. It's just you enjoy beautiful things. You enjoy beautiful things. And there's a magical quality to you that very much makes you shine. All right. See? Love. You love love. You enjoy falling in love. You're a very loving person, a very romantic, loving person. I don't get a sense of anyone here who's shallow. So I don't sense it's a shallowness. I sense that there's a real depth to your love, that you really love. You're genuine in that. And that is what makes you shine. And that's why people want to just adore you and give you things, because they know that you really love it. And they know that you really love with all your heart. You're not afraid to love. And that really makes you shine as well. I'm going to pull this other one too. Trust. People trust you. And you're a very trusting person. Because you're real. You are who you are. And you make no apologies for it. And so people trust you. They see you as being more genuine and a loving, really loving person, and they trust that you do love them. And you love love. You love love, and you are a trusting person too. So I get that you trust easily as well, especially when people come to you with their love and their devotion. And maybe you've had a few little knocks along the way, but I think overall you do attract trustworthy people as well. Okay, one more oracle card. All right, we have the past. Memories. Like I said, you're nostalgic. You definitely have a nostalgic person who your vibe and your aesthetic is nostalgic. So you probably have there's the pinks too. You probably like the salmon pink. I get. You're just nostalgic for the past. And that nostalgic is part of your romance. It's part of what you love. It's part of what people love about you. It's part of what makes you shine. Is that you don't live in the past in a negative way. You live in the past in a good way. You bring the past to the future in a way that people love. You have a way of reinventing things too. So you'll take an old aesthetic, something from the 70s, and you'll modernize it to the modern times, and people love it. They love it. You would be a good fashion influencer of some kind. And if you had an Instagram account, it's a highly aesthetic account. Like you're good at that. You're very good at that. All right. Thank you, group 2. This is what makes you shine. I love you all. And do comment on this video. I'd love to know if it resonated with you. And if it didn't, I just want to hear from you. It's all good. Try to interact with this video because that kind of helps boost me in the algorithm, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye now. Hello, group 3. And this is your reading. So this reading, we're going to look at what makes you shine. This is a follow-up to the most popular video on my channel. While I deal with the cards, I'm going to give you a little backstory on that. So a couple years ago, I was meditating, shuffling some cards, thinking about things, and this voice popped through my head. A childlike voice, high pitch, said, "What makes you shine?" And I thought to myself, okay, I'll do that. And it is hands down the most popular video on my channel. So if you go and take a look, you'll see most of my videos get under 100 views. I have a small channel. I have a quaint little small channel. But this video got thousands, okay? So if you want to know about channeling and you want more to learn about it a little bit and the pitfalls of it and such, leave a comment, and if there's interest, I will record a video on channeling. Okay. Now let's get to your reading on what makes you shine. Okay, group 3. Let's see. What makes you shine? I already got off the bat that this is going to be a more spiritual group, but let's take a look. Oops. Yeah, I feel your guides, like, they're here with me. They're making sure that I shuffle this deck thoroughly. I just feel it. I don't know if you're necessarily spiritual, but you're definitely connected to a lot of different entities. Okay. Let's see. Do they approve? Yes, they approve. Wait, how many cards? Oh, 5. Perfect amount. Told you. You are a very, very protected group. Highly protected. Probably witches. Maybe you put protection spells on yourselves. I don't know. But I get the sense that you are protected. I get the sense that you're spiritual. And I get the sense that you... Yeah. Let's see. Okay. We have Page of Swords. And the other groups I did it card by card. I have the sense that I need the whole picture with you. So I'm going to put them all out. Page of Wands. Four of Cups. Nine of Cups. Two of Cups. All right, so what makes you shine right off the bat? You're young at heart. You're inquisitive. And I get that a lot. I get the sense that a lot of you are just in the beginning stages of exploring tarot or witchcraft or anything spiritual, anything at all. Even just believing that there's more to life than just what meets the eye. I get the sense that you are starting to research that. You're starting to look into that more. You're starting to follow you're very much led by your passions. And you're somebody who definitely drops something when it no longer interests you. So you do your research, you put your heart into your passions into it, you put your drive into it, and then if it doesn't resonate with you, it's gone. Because you know what you want. It's like you know what you want and you know what you don't want. You're definitely somebody who knows what you don't want. And you reject anything that does not meet that criteria. And so what makes you shine here is the fact that you're somebody who is a seeker. So you're seeking higher knowledge, or seeking a higher understanding, and you're seeking who you are. You're somebody who's always in a search for who you are and why you're here. You're that seeker vibe. And so that you're meditating. Somebody probably has definitely a lot of journals that have you working on your manifestations. So you work on your manifestations a lot. And you get what you want. So you're somebody who kind of seems like you have lucky girl syndrome or lucky boy syndrome. Again, gender neutral here. Take it as it resonates. But you definitely have that going on here. And people really, they kind of honor you. People honor you. They honor your path. They honor your wisdom. They honor who you are because they sense that you're not satisfied with not knowing. You're somebody who's seeking knowledge. You seek to understand. You're seeking that. That's what I said about how in the beginning you're spiritual. You might be kind of new. It's not necessarily that you're new. It's just that you're always in that kind of seeking phase. So you're never settled just on one thing. Nothing, there's like a sense of and this is a good thing. This is why you shine, is that you'll read something and you will like, that's interesting, but you don't take it on as your belief system. You just gather the information from it that you like and you discard the rest. And then you move on. You're really trying to understand who you are. You're really trying to understand your place in this world. And you're here to manifest your goals. You're here to manifest something. And for you, a lot of you, it's or has to do with like a soulmate kind of thing. But I sense too that it's very, you attract soulmates around you, and you're very specific about who comes into your world. So you don't just allow anybody in. If they want to know you in a deep way, you have to feel that deep connection with them. And so you probably get a lot of people that do want to come close to you, but you are a bit aloof. And I get the sense of that aloofness is because you protect you protect yourself, and you're well protected. And I got that right off the bat. When I opened up this reading, I could sense that there were guides that are standing behind me, like arms crossed, like, you better do this right. You know, you're protected, very protected. And that's because you work on manifesting your goals, and you're trying to understand who you are. And I get the sense that you avert, like, major disasters in your life. It doesn't mean that you haven't suffered in your life, but the worst case scenario, I don't think it happens to you. I don't have that vibe here. I sense like you're somebody who doesn't walk. My husband said about me when we first met, he goes, I get the sense that you're not somebody who like, nothing's going to fall on your head. It's like I'm protected. And that's how I feel about you. You're protected from the really major things. You might deal with chronic health issues. You might deal with, everybody deals with something. So it's not like you're living this perfectly blessed life, but you are pretty blessed. I must say you are definitely blessed, but you are blessed in the way that nothing very hugely tragic happens to you. You're because that's not what you're here for. That's not your journey here. Your journey here is to understand yourself and understand what you're supposed to do. You're trying to understand your purpose, and that is your path, and that is where you shine, because you have a real inquisitive nature to you, and you're not afraid to pursue your passions. And you're not afraid to let it go if it doesn't resonate with you. So if you follow a certain passion and then it starts to kind of be like, meh, you just drop it and you move on to something else. So you might see yourself as a quitter, but in this reading, as where you shine, it's not necessarily that you're a quitter. It's that you see something or you're doing something, it just doesn't work for you anymore. You walk away because you know what you're here to manifest something specific. You're here to manifest a dream. You're trying to find your purpose, and you're here to discover that purpose and live that purpose. And so you do have a very good relationship with yourself. So there's self-love here. You love yourself. You know when to say no. And that is a really good thing. That is what makes you shine. So I'm going to grab some oracle cards to get a little bit more about you. It's like your cup is always full. You always have, your cups are never emptied. You always have a little bit in you. There's something about you that it's a mystery. And like, yeah, it's that aloofness, but it's not because you were aloof or hard to get reach. It's just because you're a seeker, and that's what you're here for. You're here to understand yourself. You're here to love yourself, and you're here to live your purpose. Okay, so, and I get you're very loving people too. You love. It's important to you. Love is important to you. Okay. Union. Going back to here, you're here to some of you are here to definitely find a soulmate kind of thing, and some of you are or so both or you're here to kind of unify yourself. You're trying to understand who you are and your place in this world, and how to love yourself deeply, and how to have a really strong union with the universe. Okay. So you're somebody who probably, like I said, you have a lot of journals, you meditate a lot, you're in a constant communion with nature, with God, or whatever you perceive God to be, your higher self, and with you and your own inner self and your own purpose and who loving yourself. Some of you may even have taken the path of the Tao Te Ching or Buddhism, I can see that you've been through a lot of different things through your seeking, and you're always seeking. And that's, again, this is what a video what makes you shine, not about what your faults are. So this is what makes you shine. And this is a beautiful thing. Some people, I'm a seeker too, so I'm never satisfied with anything. I'm not here to settle. I'm here to seek, to understand, to learn, and to find others that I can, wisdom. You're here, like I was trying to say that I understand you because I'm a seeker as well. That it's just you dive into the depths of yourself, and you're not afraid to go there because you really need to understand who you are, and you're really trying to find that close relationship with yourself and with a higher power. And that's very important to you. And some of that is through the connections you have. The connections you have here have to be deep connections with other people. They need to be accepting of you and accepting of your path. And that's what makes you shine, because those people are drawn to you for that reason. Okay, last oracle deck. Kind of see a little bit more about you and who you are. And definitely protected. Very much so. And there's something rather alluring about you too. In a way that's more a mystery, rather than just your looks or anything like that. It's not a physical thing. It's a mysterious thing about you. You're alluring in a more mystical way. You don't put it all out on the table. They have to get to know you first. Okay. Releasing. And that's what I get a sense here with the Seeker. You're always in meditation. You let go of anything that does not work for you. So, you're a seeker. You're a seeker. So you release. You're somebody who probably does a lot of shadow work, because you're constantly releasing any of the negative biases that you have in your head and in your subconscious, because you are truly trying to find enlightenment and be wise and have a deep relationship. You're very deep. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more from this deck. Actually, more wanted to come out. Process your feelings and boundaries. You have been, yeah, as I was saying, you let things go. You're not here to just be doing anything. You're here to seek. You're a seeker. And if it doesn't fit, you let it go. You're letting it go constantly. And you have a very boundary. And that's what I sensed too about, when I said that you are somebody who's kind of mysterious. You don't put your cards on the table. They have to get to know you. That's your boundary. You've very strong boundaries, and you don't let people cross them. You've worked on it because you're constantly working on yourself all the time, and you won't allow anybody in who might damage that. You're very good at keeping up those boundaries. So that's how you shine. People, and that's also your self-protective nature too. You have a very self-protective nature, and people can tell that you are a safe person, that you are a strong person, that you are a deep person, and that they can't just mess with you. They can't do it because you're protected and because you don't just let anybody in. So people might try, but they get swiftly corrected by your guides. So you might see that somebody who might try to, cause you harm, might try to nose their way into your world and try to and you're like, no, you have a fence up and you're like, nah. And when that happens and they try, you'll see that their world they'll get it back. Put it that way. You'll see bad things happening to them. By that, I don't mean I gotta be careful how I say that. The justice is served. Let's put it that way. Justice is served rather swiftly to anybody who tries to mess with you. And I don't necessarily mean that you give the justice. You have boundaries. They cross those boundaries. They learn quickly not to cross your boundaries. Put it that way. And it's not necessarily you doing it. Your guides are like, That's what I sensed about your guides when I started this reading. They were very hands crossed above their chest. You better give a good reading here, lady. I hope I did. I hope this helped you. I hope this helped you understand why you shine. Is because you're always trying to understand yourself. You're a seeker. You're a beautiful person. Very deep. And that's what makes you shine, and you should enjoy and embrace it about your beautiful self. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully this resonated with you. And if it did, I'd love to hear from you. Even if it didn't, do leave a comment. Engage with this video because it helps to boost me in the algorithm, and I would appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye now.